in the Bible. You can Google it. It is in the Bible, in your book.
Okay. What's your question?
My question is, why did your God create them and then command you to kill them? He could have just...
I'll answer all that. But I want to ask you one thing. Do you accept all hadiths? All of them?
When you finish your answer, I will start my answer. So go ahead and ask.
Okay, so ask me again. I'm gonna do some proper research for you. So tell me what you're saying.
Yes, go to Google. Yeah. To Google. In Bible.
So Torah,
whatever.
Does it say?
I can give you the answer to it.
We're gonna answer two religions.
Go,
at the
Harry.
same time. We're gonna end both religions at the same time.
Harry, go, Harry.
So it does say it in the Hebrew Bible or Old Testament. Want me to give you the answer? Destroy the Amalek, Book of Solomon. And pretty much what they were talking about was the Amaleks that attacked the Israelites when they were leaving Egypt. That's what they were talking about in that passage.
So
targeting the weak and vulnerable.
Yes.
It's not talking about anything now. And hold on, I answered your question. So now you're gonna answer. Now you're gonna answer our question. Why does it say in the Quran to go slice the neck of anybody who is a non-believer?
Can you give me the verse?
Sure. Hold on, just a sec.
Wait, are you chapter 9, verse 5? Chapter 9, verse 5.
First of all, he haven't answered my question.
Well, answer his question.
Change the top. So you can answer my question and then I'll answer yours. Don't change the top.
I definitely answered your question. I gave you actually more than the answer to your question.
No, you finished from your own book and then you asked me about my book.
Okay, so you wanted an answer, and I gave you. Everybody here heard the answer to the question. Everybody here understands what the answer that I just gave you. Maybe you don't understand, but everybody here understands.
I found it, guys. For him, it's Surah Muhammad 47. So when you meet those who disbelieve in battle, strike there. In battles in brackets, strike their necks until when you have inflicted slaughter upon them. Their bonds. And hold on, and either confer.
Who started the battle? Did he tell us to go to their home?
That's the problem.
Did he tell us to go to their home and kill them, or in the battle? Because in the battle,
It says that disbeliever slice their throat where they stand. Yes.
it's not. You're not getting it right. Can you tell me the name of the surah or the verse?
I already said it. The listening 47:4. Surah Muhammad.
Shit, Muhammad. Not only you Muhammad just got fucked too.
And all those who are killed in the cause of never will he waste their deeds. Go ahead. God.
Okay, so in the first of this verse, it says...
Hold on, there's a similar one as well. Surah Al-Anfal 8-12, where Allah inspires the angels as terror into the hearts of those who disbelieve. Therefore, strike off their heads and strike off every fingertip of them. This is to refer to the
that is something like when you come... Yes, I will answer.
And you know what? We can also look up their hadiths. The hadiths talk about kill the Jew that's hiding behind the rock or the tree. What about this one? We can talk about this one too.
Yes.
I'll tell you why you're gonna be wrong. You know why, Muhammad? Because you believe every... No, hold on. I'll tell you why. Hold on. You know why? Because you're gonna say it has to do with a battle. The problem is everything in you guys in your life, you consider battle. Everything that you do. Yeah. Talking with me right now, it's a battle for you. So that's why you guys try to get away with it, because you're like, it's in battle. It's in battle. But everything you do is a battle. So stop lying, stop doing taqiyya.
Okay,
it's okay.
I will let you begin. If you read the translation from the beginning, can you read it from the beginning of the page?
Baby, can I chime in, please?
Yeah, but hold on, I'll read it. Hold on, posture. I'm gonna bring posture up. Because he'll you'll be able to hand it to him on this one. Hold on, where is he?
Real quick, 10 seconds.
I know, but hold on. You're just gonna fall for a shot.
Let me speak. Read it from the beginning.
Yeah, I understand. I don't know where posture is. Anyways, you had your hand up. You said bring me up, but you're not here. Okay, I'll read it from the beginning for you. Okay, so it says, the verse that comes nearest as wording is Surah Muhammad 47-4. So when you meet those who disbelieve in battle, strike their necks until when you have inflicted slaughter on them, then secure their butts in either confer, favor afterwards.
So that's enough. Okay, thank you. You said it.
Why? Why don't you want to complete it?
It's 9:5 and 9:20.
Okay, let's go to another verse.
What is it, Rich?
9:5, Sir 9, I-5, and Sir 9, I-4.
Okay, then Rich, you can handle this one.
Yeah, lay in wait and besiege,
You
lay in
said it right.
besiege and wait for the ones who disbelieve, and when you find them, cut their necks. And if they pay the jizya and make alms, and they do their shahada, then if they submit to Allah, then they can go on their way. This is actually, this isn't, listen, you Sharmota, it's talking about the end times.
You said
It's talking about the end times.
Muhammad, why
No, it's not battle, it's the end times. It's when the Mahdi comes back.
Right?
It's when the Mahdi comes in, and Isa and Maryam returns to the earth. It says, lay in wait and besiege and kill the disbelievers.
I'll give you an example.
Then he says, okay,
No, it's all for one. Jump in, Snappy.
they
Don't
can
ask.
go on their way.
I'll give you as you read in the
Sir 995, Sir
it is
992.
mentioned in battle. So, for example,
No,
when
it's
the
not.
American
It's the end
soldiers come to
times.
our relief,
Nobody
Come to our relief.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
If we're gonna bring it, hold on. If we're gonna bring it back,
That's the beginning. 1 second. Surah Toba, which is chapter
when you
9.
read it correctly, you condemned yourself. You read it correctly, you condemned yourself. It is answered. The question in battle. The question
Are
is
you gonna listen or no?
it's gonna be a battle.
no, I'm not gonna listen. Now you answer my question. Now you answer mine. Now you answer mine.
Bro, can you go mute 1 second? Go mute 1 second real quick. Surah Toba, which is
Answer my
chapter
question.
9.
Now it is
This
your
is
turn.
chapter 9, verse 5. It says, find them in every corner and kill them. In every corner.
There's nothing like this.
It has nothing to do with the
Nothing
battle.
like this in
It
Quran.
has
Nothing
nothing to do with
Maybe
the
your
battle.
father said this, not my God. Maybe your father said this. Nothing like this in Quran. Give me the verse.
It's just the text. It's in the text.
Maybe your father said
Your
this.
father is your prophet is a pedophile.
Are you denying the Quran?
Maybe he did something bad.
Are you denying the book?
I don't know.
That's what
Maybe
it says in the book.
Not Asian Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile.
all these
Prophet
contexts.
Muhammad was a pedophile.
Jeffrey
Did
Epstein
something bad to you when you were young?
And then
Did he do something bad for you when you were young? Did he do something bad for you?
Did your prophet say if you used to
Oh,
marry
let me
a
speak.
second wife, it
Now
should
let
be
me
a
speak.
widow, not
guys are all
be a children?
Now, all these contexts speak about war, and when you are in a war.
All right,
For example, when your Americans come to our region and start a war with Iran, if we find them, we will kill them all. We will bury them. That's and we're happy that they came to Iran so that we can kill them. We are very happy. Thank you so much.
Okay. When I keep saying Mohammed, and I muted everybody, that means that, I was going to give you a chance to talk, undisturbed, but if you didn't want to shut the fuck up, that's fine. You can just stay in the shut the fuck up section. No problem. Anyways, anybody else want to speak? Anybody else want to join in?
I just want to go 10 seconds out there, when he's talking about battle, but his prophet saying that when you take a second wife, she should be a widow, and you should financially support her as a widow and her children. But why is it that when they bear a second wife, they're never a widow?
They like to cook.
Yeah, I think I was like, that religion has issues. Let's put it that way.
Real talk, fuck the whole Middle East.
Yeah, but you can't. You can't. You have to be
Fuck
involved.
Israel, too. Fuck Israel.
For what?
Fuck
For what?
Israel. Iran.
You've been doing it correct.
Fuck the whole Middle
Who is this?
It was Alex New York, but now his voice sounds different than Alex New York. So I don't know who it
Is
is.
this another Tooth Fairy? Or Tooth Fairy? I think he wants to become a Tooth Fairy. He needs to.
Originally it was like Alex New York. Remember Alex New York? His voice changed. So I don't know who he is now.
Maybe his balls finally dropped. That could be a thing.
Give new content, dude. I'm still sitting here planting corn. I need some new content.
Sounds like a you problem.
I mean, we were trying to debate this guy. It was just like everybody was going off the mic and everything, and he thinks that no one answered his question, but everybody heard that answered his question. He's still in the chat gloating about it, but like we answered your question. It's very easy, very simple. So you didn't end any religion. I don't know what you're talking about, but I need you to come back up, but he declined it. So it seems like that you're too scared to come in and get the ball again. So that's fine. Not a problem. Nathan, what's up, Hamid? How you doing? No, nothing? Okay. It's weird. You were raising your hand during that time of that conversation, so thinking about happening. What's up?
I think, I think radical Islam, which was basically the tenets of the Islamic Republic of Iran when it came to power, is responsible for this. But right now, I can safely say a lot of people in Iran, the majority of people, are not really religious. So I wouldn't say right now that the problem is only religion in a way.
You're saying the majority of people in Iran are not religious?
The majority of people in Iran are not religious. It's just the thing that the country is controlled by those very fanatic few, which are lunatics, and they're not leaving the power. So, and they're willing to kill the more moderate people. So, the problem is religion to a large extent. But I'm saying it's not that Iran as a country will have a religious problem or religion problem if it manages to get free, break free from IRGC, which, we have to see whether that will happen or not.
Is somebody sleeping? I don't know if you guys hear that, but I hear that.
Is that Rafi? Rafi, are you sleeping?
I don't know who here. I can't tell. Go to sleep.
It's my DVD.
But I don't know how people can overall argue that Islam cannot be a problematic viewpoint overall. I mean, it's all about conquest and forcing the way you live.
Right. Well, like when they say like kill the non-believers. I mean, that's pretty. That's not nice.
And it's not only that. You get a lot of these leftist people going around kind of advocating for Islam. And then you're like, well, you talk a lot about woman rights. How about you read Quran once? And then it clearly says in there that you can strike your wife. So, I don't know, man.
Well, when the problem Iran and the name of the problem is called Islamic regime. I mean, that's all you need to say, right? Islamic, what is it? Islamic Revolution, whatever the fuck, I don't know, Guard.
Revolutionary Guard, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you need to say is Islamic. That's it.
And also ISIS is Islamic State, right? Also bad people.
Yeah, but
I mean, it doesn't say Christian or Jewish, does it? It doesn't say that in front
That
of it.
is true. Yeah, that is true.
I mean, you don't have to be to fucking figure that out.
yeah, but what you hear from a lot of Muslims is that, oh, this is not a true Muslim type, whatever government. But that is exactly what the communists will also tell you, but their countries always go really to shit.
How would it not be a true Muslim, like, when they're literally, that's their whole ideology's back behind Islam? It makes absolutely no, it's just very hypocritical for them to say, or contradictory for them to say that, I should say, actually. Yeah. I just think it's fun. It's just part of their taqiyya, you know, that they do, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's true. They just they don't get it. They don't get it, and you know, that's why, you know, we have to do what we have to do. It's their fault. It's not our fault. It's their.
It's your fault, David. You do deals in China, bro. You're
Well, China is not Muslim, so.
Yeah, they're communists, just as bad.
Yeah,
What's
you know.
China doing to the Uyghurs?
I don't know about.
Aren't you a Uyghur, David? Where did he touch you, David?
No, I'm Roman Catholic.
Where did he touch you? Where did Muhammad touch you?
And record, our factories are in Shenzhen and Guangzhou, so it's not.
Shenzhen?
It's not next to wherever wherever. Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Look who it is! It's the Amos! How are you doing today, Amos?
Amos! Amos, the bus driver!
Doesn't he also live in a like yeah, kibbutz, yeah.
Baby support.
Did you see the new verse that I just put in the chat from Ezekiel?
Amos has bad Google reviews about him as a person. I'm not.
Post the link. Post the link.
Okay. I'm not joking. That's true, guys. I thought it was a joke too when I first started.
Did you see the verse that I just put in the chat?
Does it say Muhammad is a pedophile? Muhammad is a piece
Did
of
you see
shit.
this?
Muhammad
How
is
can you
a
answer this? How can you justify this?
Bro, I know you're not perfect. You're lecturing us about our religion, bro.
Your religion is false. I destroyed your religion.
How dare you? How dare you?
The only woman I destroyed your religion.
Bro, your religion is based off of our religion. What the fuck are you talking about?
You can only insult, but you cannot.
Wait, didn't Judaism come first before?
You can't have a scientific conversation.
Muhammad, can I ask you a question?
When you answer my question, I answered you already one question. I answered one question. Now it's your turn to answer.
Who is the only female named in your holy book?
underage girl. What's her name?
Who is the only... No. Guys, can you guys be quiet? Can you guys be quiet? Can you guys just be quiet? Muhammad, who is the only female who was named in your...
Mary, the one that you worship, Mary.
Mary, right? Mary. Who is Mary?
Mother of Jesus.
Where did Jesus come from?
Israel.
From God. From God. It's come from God.
From where?
You revealed this to our prophet.
From Palestine.
What is Jesus?
There is no time.
Hold on. What is Jesus? Hold on. What is Jesus? Beni Israel, right? He's from where? Beni Israel. Yeah. They came from who? Isaac.
Jesus was born in Bethlehem.
And yet you're telling me you're more
Just one. I haven't a conversation with one person. Just one.
Boom shakalaka, buddy. You lost.
Where's Shuki? NBA dress.
Can't understand you.
Where's Shuki? Why don't you go look for him?
We love Jesus. We love Jesus. We appreciate Jesus.
Where's Shuki?
You worship Jesus. You say he's God. He's not God. He's a prophet. He was a human. He was a prophet. Just like
Jesus greater. Was Jesus greater than Muhammad?
Both are the same. Both are the same. They both are prophets.
They know each other. According to your own book. It's according to your own holy book. Not their book. It's according to your own holy book. The only female named in Quran is Mary. Mary was the mother of Jesus.
Ocean, ask him something better. Like, why is Al-Aqsa Mosque biblical to you?
Where is it? Sir?
Al-Aqsa in Jerusalem. Why is that a religious site for you? Muhammad prayed there, right?
In the Quran, like Mecca, like.
So you know when it was built? Do you know when it was built?
I'd say Muhammad never prayed there.
He never prayed there. It was built over 200 years after he died.
Yes, this is not what someone. This is
we actually have a rabbi on stage, a real rabbi.
Bibi, do you know why Islam is too violent?
There are two mosques. The one that was built before, and then the one that you like to demolish, establish your temple. So there are two mosques next to each other.
First of all, I want to demolish both of them.
Sure.
Second of all,
okay, and we kill you, and we
are you crying today?
Yes, we do our job, and we kill you every day. So
Stop. There's a rabbi
and we kill, no problem.
Muhammad, shut up.
I'm not a 6-year-old girl.
Go ahead, Rabbi Richard.
I'm not a 6-year-old girl, Muhammad. You can't force your opinion on me.
Nice. Rabbi, go ahead.
Are you trying to suggest that Muhammad didn't really fly on a donkey from Arabia to Jerusalem?
Well, the only witness was the donkey, and nobody could find the donkey.
So your prophet turned his
I still bet a donkey was involved.
He turned his piece of wood into a real snake. Was it what?
Yeah.
We didn't see
yes,
this.
He did.
Yes, we didn't see this.
What do you mean? Thousands of people saw it.
How did he turn his piece of wood into a snake?
By the power of God, and thousands of people saw it.
Yes, the same answer. So I'm going to adopt the same
miracles.
All
of Muhammad's miracles were secrets.
No,
he was alone in a cave with what he called a black spirit. Okay?
The best miracle was
Muhammad, shut up.
Bibi, can you hear me, Bibi? Is Bibi there?
You told me you love to demolish.
Bibi, just Muhammad, be quiet real quick. Bibi, do you know why Islam is there?
Yeah, Ocean. Go ahead.
You know why Islam is very violent and is all about killing? You know that? You know why?
Tell me.
Because they claim Gabriel went to Muhammad, right? But it was not Gabriel. It was Satan. Satan.
which is
You're an atheist, bro. You're an atheist.
I'm not an atheist.
What is your evidence? Okay.
It is what it is.
Guys, I would use this time wisely. You actually have a real rabbi on stage. Honestly, hold on, everybody. Use the time wisely. It's very rare that he comes on the app. He used to come before. Ask him some fucking hard questions, because he's a very bright, intelligent rabbi. Take your time and ask him something, because you're gonna get a lot of juice from this guy.
It's good to see you again, Rabbi. Haven't heard you say in a while. It's been a minute.
We can have him talk to Muhammad about, because Muhammad came in here talking about Amalek and how the story about the Amalek and how it says in the Torah that we have killing Amalek, which he thinks it's pertaining to modern day. And then you can explain to him the meaning of the passage that we see in the book of Samuel.
Sure, I pushed the new person. So yes,
there are 3 lessons contained within the story of Amalek. The first is that evil must be resisted. That evil cannot be ignored. That evil cannot be evil. Hold on a second.
Why did you get great?
Shut up. Hold on a second, buddy.
I'm gonna shoot you in the face if you keep interrupting. And by shooting you in the face means I drop you from the stage. You get shot. Stop interrupting.
Give me 1 second. Muhammad, I'm going to give you a math question to think about while I'm speaking. Stay quiet, okay? How many times does 53 go into 6? Okay. So, that's a very hard math question for Muslims. So, there are 3 lessons of the story of Amalek. The first is that we cannot turn a blind eye to evil. Under the heavens, you can never forget what this evil nation did. You cannot forget evil. You can't turn a blind eye to evil. The second thing is that when someone attacks your people, you need to respond. And that response shouldn't be a hug. Diversity is not our strength. Strength is our strength. That doesn't mean be brutal. That doesn't mean be violent. But if you come for my kids, someone else will raise your sons and daughters. And number 3, the power of Zachar, the power of remembrance. Remembrance is a pillar of Judaism. Remembering who we are, where we came from, and remembering what are the things that bind us together as a people. So, Amalek does not exist as a nation today, but the concept of Amalek still exists. Now, it doesn't just exist outside of us, it's important to note. Every one of us has a concept of Amalek inside of us. We have negative traits, we have evil traits inside of us. We have those evil thoughts in our head. And we have to fight those with the same ferociousness that we do external threats. Because otherwise we become no different than dogs or monkeys or Gazans or terrorists or anything else. We have to fight our bad instincts, and when we see evil in the world, we need to strike out against it.
Like, it's disgusting, man. Really, that's crazy. Yeah, but I have a question for the rest.
Beautifully said. Beautifully.
Yes, thank you so much for your answer. Now I have a question that...
Solve the math question yet?
Let me ask you.
No, he's still putting...
We're going to 6.
Let me answer.
Answer
Now I have a question that will demolish Christianity. Your God in Christianity says if someone hits you on your face, you should turn your face to them.
They're Jewish, bro. They're Jewish.
He's not a bright one.
Now I'm free. Now I like to demolish Christianity, okay? I'm here to demolish both religions, okay? One by one. Now your God, because Christians believe in Torah as well. Now your God changed his mind. In the first book, Torah, he says you have to revenge. In the second book, he says turn your face so that your enemy can hate you, because this is the religion of and peace. So which God should I believe? The God of the Torah or the God of the Bible? Anyways, I'm here to demolish both these religions. No problem.
Can I ask the rabbi a question? Can I ask the rabbi a question?
Your religion is dead. Okay, thank you so much.
Wow. Nice. Okay.
This is
Rabbi, what's your take killing Jesus? What happened? Why'd they do it?
My take on killing him? I thought he died.
Yeah. What's the story?
He's coming back.
okay, but he hasn't come back yet. What do you mean, what's my take?
Like, why did they do it? Why did he get killed? Yeah. Why did he get killed?
Analysts are saying on TV.
By the Romans.
Is it?
You know what? You're just a fucking bitch. And you're like you. And you are obnoxious. And the music that you make sounds even worse than
punishment.
so the creators and
Jews
the
had 6 ways to
being
handle
on this app
crucifixion was
run these
one of them.
toxic rooms of
Now,
stupidity.
there were
I
those
salute
who
because
believed
I
in
film all
conspiracy
these
theories
rooms and I
that
put it on the
Jews
internet.
control all governments. Roman government
Well, you know
and got
what?
the most
You're
powerful
just a
government in the
fucking
world to
bitch.
do their bidding. Really, to follow that theory, 3 years ago, that same government destroyed the temple and ripped the name of the Jewish homeland from the Jewish for 2,000 years. So what's the conspiracy theory that the Jews are so powerful for controlling the Roman government, then why were they unable, just a few years later, to stop the Roman government from their evil activities? So there is no logical basis to suggest that someone who was killed by Roman soldiers in a Roman method, that the responsibility for that was done by anybody but Romans.
Yeah, I don't think anybody believes that.
Yeah, let me try to get
Well,
this
the
straight.
Pope,
So,
clearly the
in
Pope,
Bible,
clearly
the
the
story
Pope,
goes.
clearly the Pope put that out in what, 1965? Can someone check what year?
Which Pope?
Jimmy Duke
solved the math question.
Christianity says if someone hits you on your face, you should turn your face.
So are you saying that the responsibility
Bring down their life to the most Christian. Okay? I'm here to demonstrate from religion. Okay? One by one. Now you're gonna, because Christians believe in surprising. Now you're gonna change his thought. In the first book, Torah, he says you have to revenge. In the second book, he says turn your face so that your enemy can hate. Just this is the religion of love and peace. So, which comes from the God of the Torah or the God of the Bible? Anyways, I'm here to demonstrate our religion is
So let's go through this. The Roman governor, the representative of the ruling empire, stood over the people who were being oppressed and said, "This man is a traitor to the crown. This man is a rebel against Caesar."
That's not what Pilate said. It's not what Pilate said.
What did Pilate say?
He left.
Oh, he got removed.
No. So, the Bible is very clear about what was written about the crucifixion. King of the Jews. The crime he was being accused of was rebellion against the Roman Empire. So, the Roman governor said, this man, who is a traitor to the Roman Empire, to the Roman Empire, and was seeking to overthrow the Roman Empire, do you guys want me to release him? That is no different than asking the assembled Jews there, who are under an oppressive government, do you support this traitor and rebel? Of course the Jews said no. The idea that he would have released a traitor if the Jews said yes is beyond moronic. So that story was written hundreds of years later.
Interesting.
By people who weren't there. The idea that a government, while holding a rebel, and says, who wants me to free the rebel, would have listened to those people is just silly. It's a childlike idea.
Okay.
That's the fact that that's what happened. That's the fact that that's exactly what happened.
Why would they not want to release Jesus from your point of view? What was the rationale?
Because he was a rebel. And when the Roman governor, surrounded by Roman soldiers, asks, are you on the side of a rebel? The answer is no. No, I'm not on the side of the rebel.
Well, it wasn't the Romans who arrested Jesus.
Who arrested him?
The Pharisees did. Remember, they arrested him at the Garden of Gethsemane, right? They arrested him. They took him in the night, and Caiaphas,
Who arrested him?
The Pharisees did.
Random people?
The Pharisees did. Caiaphas, Annas, and
Which
Caiaphas.
Pharisee? Under what authority did they arrest him?
Where'd he go? Sent down. Where'd he go?
You never checked the story out?
Who's moving people?
I think you guys can check. You guys can check, I think.
Bro, I don't understand. See, I don't even, like, that's why this fucking argument.
As I was saying before I moved down, it was Caiaphas who ordered the arresting of Jesus. It wasn't the Roman.
Under what authority?
So this is why they did it. This is why they did it during the night.
Great.
Who built the case on?
No, the funny thing is, I just looked at the history. Nobody moved Goo down. He dropped himself.
On accident.
Okay. No, because people were blaming.
No.
Who built the case on Jesus?
Hold on, I want to hear Goo's perspective.
Alright. Here's the answer you're
If you
looking
look at the
for.
story of the
The
gospel,
combined force of Roman soldiers
One at a time, guys. One at a time.
Jesus
and
doesn't
Jewish
question the
temple
Romans.
guards sent by the chief priests, elders.
That's right. It wasn't the Romans. The disputations that Christ would have was not with the Romans. It was with the Pharisees. That's the common theme of the Gospels, not the Roman.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yeah, but it was the Romans. Everyone knows that, though.
No, the people that initially fucking arrested him.
It's in the scriptures.
The Roman
He's
governor
delivered
said
up to the
this man
Gentiles.
was a traitor to the Roman Empire.
Clearly gave them no choice between Barabbas and Jesus. He obviously did this to appeal to the unruly crowd that was crying out for his crucifixion. It wasn't the Romans. As Tiger here just said, he washed his hands to alleviate himself of the guilt, because he understood that it was the Jews who wanted him killed. And they cried out for his crucifixion, so he gave them what they wanted. And their excuse was that they couldn't carry out this capital punishment because it was on Sabbath.
So they couldn't hold him for 24 hours?
No, they wanted him executed immediately.
You're saying that they were so rabid to execute this guy, they wouldn't hold him till after Sabbath. They need him killed.
They were the ones who initiated the fucking arrest.
Well, yes, they arrested him because he was a rebel against Rome.
Wow.
No, because of blasphemy.
He was bad at being a rebel.
No. The religious, I forget what the fuck you call them, the temple guards or whatever the fuck, they did it on behalf of the religious council there because he was
going around and following Jesus to try and trip him up. That was the whole plan until it reached a moment where they knew they couldn't do that. They just had no answers for Jesus, which is why they arrested him. And of course, they tried an accusation that he was a threat for.
Wait, so what are you saying, Goo?
Why did the Romans?
The point is, Rabbi, is that the Jewish priests,
king of the Jews.
Well, it was obvious. Somebody muted me. Yes, it was a mockery. That wasn't literal.
What were they mocking?
Well, Christ did consider himself a king, though.
And do you think someone considering themselves king is a problem for fire?
No, this is what it is. This is what it is.
Well, it's a teaser.
It is. Christ is king. And the people who work of the devil and do works of the devil got a problem with that. It's clear to see, since the book of Kings, how many of these chosen people who asked for a king, when God said follow him, and they failed over and over and every single one, even the wisest one. Even the wisest one saw the book of Kings.
He put that there as a dig at the people who were accusing Jesus. Remember, he said, "You're not."
It wasn't a dig at him now. It's a dig at the people accusing him.
Exactly, because remember, they said, "Why are you putting that?" Hold on, wait. They had asked Pilate, "Why are you putting that?"
Shut the fuck up and let go finish.
And then Pilate said, "It stays as I've commanded." The Pharisees didn't want that. They didn't want that accusation put on his crucifixion.
He was brought to one of the old high priests, the high priest, and then they wanted to do like a trial, like a nighttime trial or some shit, and then they realized they lacked the ability
under Roman
I have scriptures. John 19, verse 19 through 22. Jewish leaders objected and said it should read, this man claimed to be king of the Jews, and Pilate refused and said, what I have written, I have written. So it was a jab, a mockery at the Jewish leaders, not at Christ. This had nothing to do with the charge of a crime.
It's nothing to do with the charge of a crime. Hey, good morning, everyone. That's your argument and nothing to do with the charge of a crime?
It says it in your own town, but it actually accuses the Romans.
Wait, the question was, are you claiming?
You're just being dead wrong.
Dude, answer. Okay, I'm gonna stop. This is a rabbi. Have a little bit of respect. If you had a minister or a pastor, you would also have respect. So let him answer. Try to refrain from disgusting language if you can. I didn't say. I just said have an ounce of respect. You would do the same if a priest was in here or a minister. That's all I'm asking.
I thought this was one of the trolls. There's a lot of people.
No, man, he's a big rabbi, bro.
No, I get it, but you guys.
Apologies accepted, bro.
Pepe?
Yes.
Pepe, he's a rabbi.
No, I know, I get it.
So just give it.
I was saying I was misunderstood.
Why are you guys accepting this?
Pepe's right because Rabbi McDickerson and all these guys are trolling as rabbis.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people that come on here that put rabbi in their first name, and they're trolls, and so I had no idea. So my apologies if I was speaking in a rude manner.
To be fair, he just called my people animals, so I didn't.
And you guys are gonna clearly just watch your mouth. You're not gonna use any vulgar language. No, I'm just asking that. I'm asking for respect. They're not gonna say who's dick sucking this rabbi. That's what's not gonna happen. Yeah, it's not cool. And he's on here. He used to be on here before. You actually can have an intellectual conversation about scripture. Try to do one at a time. And as I said, same thing if it was a priest that was on here or a minister.
Fight him, Bob!
Have that respect. Thank you. So now Rabbi's going to answer, and then Goo, if you want to go back and forth, but let the Rabbi in.
The Bible mentions two charges against him. The first is by the Sanhedrin. They charge him with blasphemy because he claims to be the Son of God.
That's why they delivered him up to the Romans.
Which unquestionably is blasphemy according to the Old Testament. The Old Testament has no concept of a Son of God. It has no concept of virgin birth. It has no concept of God being made human. So all of those concepts are blasphemy to the Hebrew Scripture. The Romans tried him for treason because he claimed at his birth he was called the King of the Jews, and that title belongs to him. Now, from this point on, from when he is turned over to the Romans for the crime he committed, which he doesn't claim not to commit, he openly says, I commit the crime. He openly says that I have no allegiance to Caesar. So, once he has been accused of that crime, they say several things. Number one, yes, they 100% say, we don't want it to say King of the Jews, because that gives us culpability in his crime. We wanted to say he claimed King of the Jews. But calling him King of the Jews is not a slam on the Sanhedrin, it's a slam on him. It is mocking him as they killed him, a lone criminal, for he called himself King of the Jews.
Well, if you read the Gospels,
there was a Roman trial. The Roman trial found him guilty of sedition, and he was killed by crucifixion, which was a crime which was a punishment for crimes against Caesar.
But you have to understand, in the they delivered him up to the Romans. They sort of reframed it to get the approval from the Romans to get him executed. Right? That's why we have no king but Caesar. Right? He was sort of trying to blackmail Pilate in many ways, right? By insinuating that Christ was a threat to their power.
So he was black.
That's right. That's right. He invoked Caesar, and he said, if you don't assassinate, if you don't kill Christ, then
why didn't this
the insinuation was that if he did not go through with this, Jesus could have potentially led a revolution against the Romans, right? That's the hidden ground.
So you're saying he was a rebel?
No, I'm saying that's what That's the
So he was
argument that's the sort of reframing that the Pharisees used to try and get the Romans to approve the execution. But it was initially, at first,
The Romans were afraid of rebellion.
it was a religious dispute.
The Romans were afraid of rebellion, so they.
I think he's in the middle.
Look, can I get something?
Hold on a second. If they had this power to blackmail Pilate, why did that blackmail and that pressure and that power not work?
I'm not talking about literally blackmailing. I'm talking about more subtly. He invoked
More subtly,
right? Yeah.
So it's a conspiracy theory.
And this, well, it was certainly a conspiracy. Absolutely.
Control the American government?
That's what it said.
Do you think Jews control the American government?
I don't think that's relevant to the discussion here.
It is entirely relevant.
Yeah.
You are suggesting.
No, it's not relevant. You're moving the goalpost now because you know that you have your position is historical. It's not in line with the Gospels, which is why you made it a point to say that the Gospels were written after the
One at a time. Try to do one at a time.
No, what you are suggesting is that the Jews secretly control the actions of the Roman government. So I am asking you,
So, once he has been accused of that crime,
secretly
they
control
several
the actions of
number
the
one,
US president,
against
yes or no?
100% saying we don't want it to say king of the Jews. We wanted to say never mind to be king of the Jews. But calling him king of the Jews,
Let me tell
This
you.
has nothing to do with my
Let me tell you
position.
why you're afraid to answer the question.
Because
your answer is yes.
I think it's irrelevant.
Because
I think
in order to believe the insane, childish conspiracy theory that you are spewing about the crucifixion, you have to be in
What is the conspiracy theory?
Wait, hold on. This is what the
That is not what they say. So again,
But what do they say?
This
What
idea,
does St. Paul say?
that the most
First
powerful
Thessalonians.
government in the history of the world was secretly controlled by rabbis in the temple.
Okay,
It's the
we're
same
talking
insane
about a local government
conspiracy
here. We're talking about Pontius
theory
Pilate, who is
that said
okay.
that Donald Trump is secretly Jewish and is being controlled by Chabad. It's the same moronic conspiracy theory.
Kingship and inciting revolt against Roman,
Yes, they did.
Listen,
the
if you look
Romans,
at the
and so
Gospels,
that is based by the Romans ended up trying him.
he does express that attitude in many ways, because Caiaphas did say it is better for you that one man die than that the whole nation perish. They were afraid that killing Christ would prevent the Romans from destroying the Jewish nation, right? So Caiaphas thought.
Sorry, they thought what?
Huh?
They thought what?
They thought that killing Christ would prevent the Romans from destroying the Jewish nation, right?
How so?
That's between two kingdoms. That's what the problem was. There was a kingdom already there through the empire, through Roman. It comes as a king, which identifies this clash of two kingdoms. When a king tries to go into someone else's domain or territory, you're opposing another kingdom. That was the original concept that God the Father chose in the book of Genesis. In Genesis 1:26, the Jewish people will understand the meaning of dominion is the word mamlaka. That word mamlaka actually means kingdom of God's sovereignty. Even Muslims know this. This was a time when Jews and Christians all thought alike until Adam had rebelled. So we have to understand the purpose of why Jesus came. He came to restore things back to the original state before the fall of man. How do you know what Jesus lost? How did you know what mankind lost at the fall? You only have to look at what Jesus came to announce was here. He said, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The kingdom is a government. And so there's a governmental clash between the kingdom of God and all other man-made governments. After the fall is when religion started. After the fall is when man-made government started. So therefore, if religion and man-made governments started after the fall, they are not the solution to mankind's problems. This is why Jesus said, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The mamlaka is at hand. And a lot of times, this is why Jesus said, seek first the mamlaka. He He said, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And the goal of Jesus is to establish the kingdom of God, that which mankind had lost at the fall. A lot of times we miss the bigger picture. That's why we get into debates, religion versus religion. Jesus did not bring religion. He's a king. And kings have kingdoms. That's the language of a king. But we've turned it into a religion. And the misinterpretation, whether it's Jews, Muslims, or the people of the world, have made Jesus a religious man when he was a king. And he's a king of the kingdom. And sometimes a lot of the debates that we get into comes out of a misunderstanding. When your concept is wrong, your conclusion is wrong. When your conclusion is wrong, your theology is wrong. And that's the problem with the whole world. They've misunderstood who Jesus is and what he brought, because they either come from the beginning, the middle, or in between, but they don't understand God's original purpose. God's plan was always to bring the Jewish people, the whole world together under one nation, one God, one King, one Lord, one Savior. But we've misunderstood the context. That's why we get into debates. When you understand the concept of kingdom, is kingdom people don't debate doctrine, they simply live it out. And a lot of times we're trying to prove he's right, rather than prove God being right. And we get into these little debates and arguments, just slash swords and whatever. That's not good representation of God's nature, of being a loving God, a kind God, and all the goodness so when people down below that are looking for the truth, they look at all the clubhouse rooms that people are debating, and they go, I don't want any of that, because we're not able to communicate. We're so afraid of everyone else being right, because we try to defend something that we believe to truth, rather than just being open-minded, have a teachable spirit, allow truth to come, because a lot of times we can't swallow truth, because we want to believe that what the truth that we have is the right truth. So we start knocking each other back, which doesn't display good character. And so therefore, we have to understand Jesus. And I know when I hear the mic, and I'm about to hear it now, people will still try and debate the thing. You gotta understand, it's about a king, it's about a kingdom, it's about his royal children. Isn't it wonderful to know we're royalty? The more royal than the more royal than anything. But we haven't identified that the fact that our identity in Christ is that he's a king. And with all kings, they have royal children. But we have the princes. When we talk about Jewish, when we talk about Muslim principles, we have to understand we were all the same. We all believed in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But then something happened along the way. We're divided.
No offense, we're not all the same. This is so stupid.
So then what we need to discover is go back to where we were
with
once.
all due respect, I'm not the same,
Yeah. But what I'm saying is we need to go back to the original state before the fall of man, before we become so divided.
What original state? What the fuck are you? I've been listening to you virtually.
Are you a Coptic? Are you a Coptic?
This whole fucking time.
Are you a Coptic?
I'm sorry. What was I speaking?
Yeah, be respectful, but I'm just gonna.
With all due respect, it's kind of going on.
Whoa. See, this is what I mean by people.
With all respect.
No. Just give me the time, David. So I'll conclude with this. We are not known. We should have been known by who we are affiliated to, whether it's a religion or whether it's a political party, whether it's your culture, whether it's your race. We should just be one people, one race, as it was before the fall of man. When God had his heavenly atmosphere before it got changed, where the devil came and deceived Adam, and he brought his culture of darkness, the kingdom of darkness, that divided mankind.
For all of us to be the same means you have to shed your fucking, as most people are not willing to do.
You can't start. It's false starting.
Well, what religion are you, Ken?
Say again, sir?
What religion are you, sir?
I don't believe in religion. I believe in...
You're atheist.
David, this is the problem, guys. This is the problem when people can't have decent conversations because they're scared of being wrong.
I'm not
The guy actually did something impressive. He actually interrupted the stage. Nobody interrupted him. He spoke for 5 minutes at a
It's very long, yes, very long.
No, but he actually did that and commanded, and because people were actually listening to what he had to say.
Yeah, but I didn't like what he had
You
to
gotta
say.
kind of just, people don't have the attention span, unfortunately, so.
I'd rather hear more about
what he had to say.
I seem to.
Yeah, but we were talking about.
Specifically talking about you.
I'd rather hear more about. I'd rather hear more about Rabbi and Goo going back.
Well, Rabbi's.
Yeah, I'm more curious about like the conversation we were having. That's the problem, and then this kind of just completely derails it.
Yeah, Rabbi.
Hey, let's go Rabbi and Goo, and then let's try to do a queue.
Okay.
We can. Okay.
What about
Rabbi. Oh, Blake, did you want to speak too? I didn't think. So can we do Rabbi, Blake, Goo, or Goo, Blake, however you guys want to. We'll go back and forth, okay?
Well, I didn't want to interrupt the interchange too much because the
Hey, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Baleki?
Balak.
It's Blake.
Yeah.
Balake,
you're in the game. Balake.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
so Rabbi,
Balake.
So I'm still waiting for the answer to my really simple yes or no question. Super easy to answer.
Goo, answer his question. Goo.
David, shut up.
What was the question?
Do Jews control Donald Trump and the U.S. government?
I do think they have a lot of influence on me.
Wow.
So it's a yes or no question.
I don't think they control Donald Trump, but they certainly exert influence on his foreign policy, is what I say.
More influence than he does?
No, but they are influential.
Your Honor, badgering a witness. Your Honor, badgering a witness.
Objection overruled.
Listen, I'm not one of these people.
Sustained.
I don't think Donald Trump has no. I don't think the Jews are mind controlling him or sort of, controlling. I don't believe that. I think Trump does have agency, but to say that the Jews don't have influence over Donald Trump or influence over America's foreign policy with respect to the Middle East, I think is just dense and ignorant. I mean,
Do you have proof? Do you have proof of that?
Oh my God, David, you're going to the audience because we can't have a conversation between two people.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Christ.
So Goo, now let the Rabbi follow up. Go back and forth like a real debate. So now Rabbi.
Besides for America and Rome, were there any other great empires secretly controlled by the Jews?
I didn't say Rome was controlled by the Jews. I didn't say that.
You said the Jews controlled
America was.
You said they blackmailed him into doing it.
No, they certainly pressured him, yes. Yeah, they pressured him.
Enough to force him to act. That's called control.
Enough to force him to act, yes. Because Pilate wanted to appease the
besides for America and Rome, were there any other empires where the Jews were able to force the empire to act?
We're not talking about the empire. We're talking about the local governor here. We're talking about Pilate, okay? His post
was the governor, okay?
Huh?
He was the prefect.
The prefect, yes. Yeah, right. But
the guy in control of the army of the most powerful empire in the world. They controlled him like they controlled Trump.
I didn't say they
controlled. So I'm asking you, were there any other governments that were secretly controlled by the Jews, or was it only these two?
I'm sorry, I don't see how this is relevant.
Or do you not know the answer? It's okay not to know.
There's a pattern in your line of thinking. Because one of two stories is true.
Hold on. What's up, dude? Nothing to do. Hold on. Wait.
Pepe, let this take up.
Let me finish.
I'm not saying anything.
This has absolutely nothing to do with my line of thinking. That's irrelevant. I'm talking about what is outlined in the Gospels, what is told in the Gospels. And it makes it very clear that the conflict in the Gospels throughout Christ's ministry is between Christ and the Jews, or specifically Jewish authorities, right? And by the Jews, I mean the Jews as sort of a organized entity that had both leaders and followers. You had the Pharisees and their followers, and viewed Christ and they persecuted Christians. That's the
How did
story.
they
Read the Acts
persecute
of the Apostles. Read
How did they
the book
persecute
of John. The Pharisees would follow crowd and
Do you
try
give
to
me
trip.
examples of his persecution?
They certainly persecuted Christ. I mean, you could look at the Acts of the Apostles. The Jews went out and.
Can you give me 3 examples?
I mean, I would have to go to the Gospels and show you, but that's the story. The Jews did persecute the Christians, right? Look at the story. Look at the story of the man blind. The Pharisees approached him, they tried to get him to lie about it, and they would throw anyone out of the synagogue who professed that Jesus is the Lord. Is that not persecution? Throwing them out of the synagogue for professing that Christ is the Lord? That's persecution.
No.
Is that not
Throwing
persecution?
blasphemers out of the synagogue is not persecution.
Okay, so this is okay. Right, we're getting somewhere, right? There's sort of a disconnect here. That's why.
Let me explain to you what persecution is. What the Catholic Church did to religious minorities for 1,000 years was persecution. Inquisitions were persecution. Crusades were persecution. Ghettos were persecution. Expelling blasphemers from the temple is not persecution. If I would go into a church today, in any city in America, and I would start yelling that Mary wasn't a virgin, and that your God is not Lord, what would happen?
You'd be asked to leave.
I'd be asked to leave. Another word for that is expelled. I would not be welcome in the church. It is a perfectly normal thing to expel people who blaspheme your faith from your religious building. The idea that that is persecution is bananas.
Well, they did want him executed. I mean, we know that much, and they did.
They wanted him
convince the
executed
Romans
because
that
he was a rebel against the government, and he was endangering all of them with his rebellion.
Oh, you think that's why they did it?
Okay,
For example,
Because the original charge was it was blasphemy that bothered
So
them.
who martyred Saint Stephen?
Again, no one brought up blasphemy in his trial under Rome, because blasphemy wasn't a crime under Rome.
Yeah, because the
So
Jews
Bar
reframed.
Kokhba, hold on one moment. Bar Kokhba is another young man who claims to be king of the Jews. He launches a rebellion against Rome. He also has a small group of followers. Do you know what happens after that? 200,000 Jews are slaughtered. They are slaughtered not because they supported Bar Kokhba. Many of them didn't. They are slaughtered because Rome is angry that a Jewish rebel rebelled against Rome. That's exactly what you have here. A young man from Judea who claims to be king, who claims to not be under Caesar's control, who is threatening Caesar's place. And immediately the Jews say, we do not endorse this rebellion. We do not endorse this rebellion any way. He is a blasphemer against our faith, and we are happy to turn him over to the government for the government to do trial against him because we do not want to be put in with his rebellious actions. When the Roman prefect, the head of the Roman soldiers say, do you want me to free the traitor? They say no. We are not lumping ourselves in with a traitor.
Now,
later,
if they wanted to,
in later church fathers,
had
we are
asked them
seeing
if they wanted Barabbas to be freed or Christ. He gave them a choice, and they chose
Sure.
Barabbas. Right.
the thief over the traitor, 100%. Because associating with a thief is not a capital
Pilate
crime.
was initially, if that were the case, the Romans would have had their mind made.
Yeah, but it
and
seems
not
like you
appealed to-
guys are
Well,
pulling
hold
from
on, if the
movies
Romans
versus
were
from
the
actual
ones that wanted
scripture.
her dead, why did they appeal to the crowd? It was the Jews who
The
delivered
thief who
Christ up.
would follow the traitor.
God, this is just.
Doing
This
this
is the part that doesn't seem that doesn't follow those, because if you look at the hold 1 second, Blake. So the church, the temple, the leadership there, they were mad at him specifically for blasphemy. But then they turned around and give a convincing argument, basically stating, making a case for why he's a false king and
No, they don't.
do a revolt.
Hold on, Pepe.
No, they don't.
I will add.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
Even though they
Hold on
sort
1
of
second.
reframed the
Hold on 1 second. Let me respond to that before you do something else. That doesn't happen. There's not a single Jew present at his trial besides for him.
No, it's what they told it's what they told the Romans. What the Pharisees told the Romans is they
That he
for
committed
blasphemy.
this crime.
Why they originally detained him to telling that the Romans that he had his treasonous kingship
I don't
incited
think Rob
revolt,
has read the Gospels.
and it was basically Pontius Pilate. He was originally how do you put this, reluctant to do anything about it.
Right. Even up to the very end, the argument was not convincing. Pilate even told Christ, I have the power to release you, and Christ said, it is the one who delivered him to the authorities that has the greater sin. Who is he referring to? He's not referring to the Romans here, he's referring to the Jew.
So, leaving aside...
No, but why are you ignoring that? You're ignoring the context of the Bible, of the Gospel.
I am ignoring
Good answer, you.
I am ignoring a text that you don't have a single copy of before 250 years after
so this is the,
at a time in which the early church fathers were seeking
anti-Semites, right? Now it's a conspiracy of anti-Semites.
Please allow the
not a
debate.
conspiracy, and it's nothing to do with anti-Semites. It has to do with religious church fathers seeking to sell their religion to Rome. In order to do so, they downplayed the Roman culpability theory and blamed the minority group. Because they sold their religion to Romans. So which is why there's not a single copy of the Gospels before the year 300. Why is there no older copy? We have hundreds of manuscripts.
But wait, you're telling me that that's not what happened?
From that period.
Wait, you said that this isn't in the Gospels. But I'm telling you it is.
What
and now
is
you're
it in
saying,
the
it doesn't matter because it was written way after the fact. You're just moving the goalposts now.
I have never moved the goalposts. I have always said the gospel.
You said that that's not what it says.
When did I say it wasn't not what it said?
Nobody who reads the Gospel.
So, with respect, Pope John Paul II came to the conclusion that the Romans fault and not the Jews.
He's not infallible on
ignoring the theological.
I'm a Catholic.
One second, you can't say that. You've now moved the goalposts.
Hold on, I'm a Catholic.
You've now moved the goalposts.
I can't say that he wasn't teaching
history. Nobody says that.
One at a time.
You have now moved the goalposts from nobody says that to I know more than the Pope. That is a large goalpost.
Well, the Pope can be wrong, and he was not teaching ex cathedra.
You just said nobody says that. And you want an example of the leader of the largest church in the world, and you're like, well, he's wrong.
He is wrong.
So it's not nobody says that. You don't agree
The Vatican
with people who say that.
But this is correct. The Vatican said that we can't collectively just for the death of Jesus. When did he say that the events that transpired did not transpire?
This notion that Vatican II absolves the Jews of responsibility of killing Christ comes from what's called the Flannery interpretation of Vatican II. If you actually read Nostra Aetate, it says that the Jewish authorities are responsible for killing Christ and their followers. Read it.
Notice how
it's in Nostra Aetate.
It does not say that.
Yes, it is.
It says the Jewish authorities. It does not say and their followers.
I can look it up.
Great, look it up.
In the meantime, while these guys look it up, you're enjoying an interesting debate here. Please click and join the house. At the top says President Trump. And there you can cash in your red ticket where it says join. There'll be a little Mexican midget. He'll give you a green ticket. You can buy a drink in the audience. Please also share, like the room, the bottom of the screen, or the top, sorry, there's a little box with an arrow point. Click on that. Invite people to the room, your friends. Let them hear some good stuff here. And that's it.
I wanted to thank you as well for running such an amazing
Support your local chubby girls. They need love too.
She ain't a lady if she ain't less than 380. Is that what you said?
BB, I looked at PTR, and this is what it says in Nostra Aetate.
Yeah, I mean, I remember reading it, and it's basically we cannot blame Jews as a collective for the killing of Jesus, and we can't, they changed, which a lot is really controversial. They said that they have their own special covenant with God and that kind of stuff.
If all Jews were responsible, that would say that the Blessed Mother and Saint John, they were present. Are they also responsible? No.
Well, wasn't she a Jewish mother? Wasn't Mary a Jewish mom?
That's right.
Wasn't she?
But she's
She
not.
was, and didn't Jesus have a Jewish family? Mary have a mother?
That's right.
Did Mary have brothers and sisters? Was Jesus
Oh, but
have like a
that's what
Jewish
you
family?
said, Abby. That's what you said. That's what you said. That's what he's saying. He's saying if that was the case, we would hold all the Jews responsible because of the mother and the father and everything.
And that's the point. Like that's like all of this get. Well, I'm just like I said. I didn't want to step in. I want because they keep landing on one point. And here's what it is. To be fair, Rabbi, I got respect for you, so it's no disrespect. But like I've listened to you interject your opinion about his motive. The guy you're debating, his motive by conspiracy. Oh, so it's just a conspiracy. So that's a thing that's used to throw off the ears, which you interjected with your opinion, which is conspiracy. He actually finally called it.
So, Balake, you're doing the exact same thing.
Don't interrupt.
Damn, bro. I'm not even like, look, bro, first off, I don't have any collective hate towards the Jews. I'm not anti-Semitic. And I do believe in Jesus Christ. I mean, what he came here and did was to put himself on the cross and shed blood for our sins. So now that we got that out the way, I don't have no bone to pick with Jewish people. I don't have no bone to pick with Jewish people. But this is the thing, what I'm observing from listening to this debate, you're using tactics to dissuade basically make his argument seem like it's just based on conspiracy. And then you go right after him and interject what you think the climate was at that time, displaying that the motive of Pontius Pilate by putting the choice of who to crucify that day to the people, when you interjected what you thought the climate was by saying because he want to suss out who is a traitor or who sides with the traitor, and it's like that's your opinion, but other people read. And a lot of people outside of...
Wait, does that mean you believe... Hey, David, you gotta move to the audience again, because you can't behave.
Look, bro, I'm still on the stand. The other chance to hit the gavel and give... So, look, this is what you interjected, but here's how other people read it. Argument. How many times you gonna keep opening your fucking mouth? All right. Now,
have some respect.
Exactly. You gotta have respect for these people. You gotta have respect for these people, but they don't have
the exact same thing you're accusing him of.
Guys, this is a good room, man. Hold on. This is a really good, productive room. Can you guys stop cussing at each other and just talk?
Look. All right, well, just stop interrupting people then.
Yeah, but we asked several times for you to show respect, especially with Rabbi in the space. So if you can't do that, then you can go sit down.
So tell Rabbi to stop interrupting people. Instead of this little goon.
Bro, come on, man.
Even if he did interrupt you, it doesn't give you a person.
If I get to interrupt him, and I hear
you can hold restraint and you can
one at a time. All right, exactly. We'll work on that.
Just be respectful.
All right. So here's the deal. There's another way of looking at it. Israel was occupied at the time, but they were also able to run their own affairs. The Roman government wasn't all interwebbed in their affairs. There was one thing that Jesus had a big problem with, and it was the fact that at the temple, these people were charging people for salvation. These people were charging people, and that was one of the biggest things Jesus had a problem with when he came up there and saw the money changers. So that's a claim that I can interject and say, maybe the conspiracy was really about money on the ground level as far concerned as people in the flesh, but the overall spiritual thing that he's bringing to the table is like, look, all of this that you're doing, you're charging people to slay these animals in here for salvation, and that wasn't my goal as God from the get-go. And the consistent thing that Jesus kept saying was, look, this wasn't what it was. This wasn't the plan. You guys asked for a king.
Defended the law.
So he gave us one. And every single one of those kings did wrong in the eyes of God and failed, including the most wise Solomon. How many of these kings had the Baal and other child sacrificing false gods? So, like, dude, everybody's blood, everybody's hands is bloody on this earth, whether Gentile or Jew. We all come short to the glory of God. And the one thing that the problem with people like me and other Christians, we don't have no problem with Jews, but we find it real stuff that you're going so far out of your way to defend like you a damn paid lawyer, like you, Robert Kardashian, like defend the fact that the Jews may have the Jewish government at the time had anything to do with it. It's clear to see that, yes, the Roman government had the authority to execute somebody in their domain. But the state and local government interwebbings and the economy was still handled by the Jewish government. And they had a bone to pick with Jesus. And in the rebellion on the ground between the people who were rebellion against the Jewish government at the time, Rome is going to come in and squash all that and kill everybody, just like they did eventually. So, like, what are we saying here, man?
Okay, let him respond to it now, Blake.
Sure. So, the Gospels themselves, as well as every Roman, entirely debunks your idea that there was a local Jewish government and a Roman government above that. Okay, so Saul was a tax collector directly to Rome. He was a Jew, but he was delivering the money to Rome. There was no local Jewish government. There was only a Roman government. Now,
I think he was referring to
I am happy to use the Gospels, but the reason that I accept their story of the crucifixion because it backed up by other historical records. However, the details that were added to the Gospels that we don't have a single copy of between the 3rd, 4th, and 5th century, when they were preaching this religion to Rome, seeking to get the pagans in Rome to adopt. So, for example, we don't have the 4 Gospels before 350. We don't have any full Gospel before 300. We have scraps of Gospels that have different places. But we don't actually have a first-hand Gospel. What we do have is first-hand accounts from Tacitus, from Pliny, from Josephus, from Lucian, people who were alive at the time, who talk about what happened. And every single one of them says the same thing, that he was a Jewish rebel who was killed for rebellion. These are first-hand documents that we have. We also have a first-hand document, a first-hand account of what happens when the Romans come down on a Jewish rebel without the Jews immediately turning that rebel over, which is Bar Kokhba. It goes very bad for the Jews. Now, again, stepping aside from the fact that according to Christian theology, the reason he died was for your sins, that he chose to die. That was the entire point, that he died for your sins. So the idea that the culpability goes to anyone besides Christian sinners is hilarious. But that aside, according to every historical record, the reason this man was killed with the kind of punishment that was exclusively given to rebels and criminals against the state by members of the state was because of his actions against the state.
Well, why did they have this on the idea that Achik, shut up.
That was perfect media singer bullshit.
So, but I don't get though. All right, so at least
Barabbas was just a thief, though.
I get it because being a
one
traitor.
at a time, please. I'm begging in this room. Pepe's going, and then Achik.
Sure. Now, I'm not trying to accuse Jews. I think it's irrelevant as first Christians were Jews, so it's just silly. But I guess, are you? All right. So, how would Pontius Pilate have ever, or the Romans have ever encountered Jesus if it was not for him really pissing off the leaders there at the temple, and because he was, blasphemous and amongst other things, we would have to sell the idea that he's somehow this traitor, this really bad person who wants to revolt to Pontius Pilate when he was pretty uninterested in him. I mean, I don't see how. To me, it's hard to dissolve the Pharisees of kind of spurring that whole process.
The answer is for the process. Traitor.
Yeah, but the Romans didn't view him that way.
Again, every Roman saying Roman, every Roman. So just to claim the Romans didn't see him that way is debunked by every Roman.
Yeah, we're doing it like as if.
Say what the point is. Says something.
I don't give a shit.
Hey, check, you gotta tell me a serious one.
Some respect. It's
He's gonna
terrible
get
what you're
removed
doing.
because he's gonna intentionally try to say
It's
something.
terrible what you're doing. I don't care what you're saying. I'm supposed to speak. Stop talking.
Okay, Rabbi,
You know?
go ahead, Archer.
Yeah.
To respond to the claim that we made, hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
The idea that the Romans didn't see him that way is disputed by every single Roman source.
Absolutely false. Number two, you said like the creed and stuff was like in the 350 ADs and everything. The Nicene Creed was 3 AD, like I put in thing. When all of them came together and they put the Nicene Creed, which every Catholic say, as you know, I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth. I'm not going to bore you with that. But that's all we say. You don't say, you're just talking about, oh, he was just a Jewish rebel and everything else like that. You're actually insulting every Catholic, every Christian on earth by being like, oh, he was just a Jewish rebel. We see him as God Almighty, the Father on earth, creator, maker of heaven and earth. Don't come here and be like, oh, he was just some random Jewish rebel and blah and everything else. Like, this is our God.
But no, hold on, a check.
BB, we don't need it moderators interrupt. It's just we just need to keep the flow
today. I just want to do something and say something.
God damn, you keep on doing this.
No, I don't keep doing it. You can't criticize the rabbi for having his opinion. That's the way he looks at it. No, but you're telling him that he can't tell you that he can't have an opinion. Then you can't have a fucking opinion.
I don't know.
No, but that doesn't make sense. That's disrespectful.
But wait, he should show some respect. He's talking about my God and our God. There's two billion Christians.
And you're talking about a Jewish boy who's our brother and sister.
He's talking about, wait. I'm not attacking the rabbi. I have a lot of respect for him. I actually like him. Rabbi Shlomo Lipton, one of the best of the best. I actually like him. But this is bullshit. He's talking about our God the Father. You know what I mean? And he's just dismissing him as some rebel Jewish guy. And, it was just evading like
Jews don't believe in Jesus, dude.
Blasphemy, everything.
Okay, but Jesus, they don't believe Jesus is God. They don't believe in Jesus. So then why do you care?
You want to talk about historical facts? Come and talk about historical facts because the Nicene Creed was in 325 AD, not the 380
You missed 50 years. You missed 50 years.
You're talking about. It means like 50 years almost.
Does it make a difference?
And that's when they compiled. The Holy Bible. The Holy Bible is sacred to us. So at least if you're gonna get the Holy Bible correct, at least get your years, get your dates correct, bro. Honestly.
Rabbi, do you want to respond?
Sure. So I'm sorry you're shocked that I don't think he's God. I thought me being a rabbi would
I'm not shocked.
I don't think he's God. I think he was a rebel who was killed.
You want to keep shilling from things at Catholics?
He's the Son of God. I don't think the concept of Son of God exists. That's why I'm Jewish. As for the Nicene Creed, we do not have a single version of the Gospels from the time of the Nicene Creed, which is what I said. The oldest paper that we have, the oldest papyrus we have with all the Gospels, is from decades after the Nicene Creed. Now, the Nicene Creed is when they chose which parts were part of the Bible and which parts weren't part of the Bible, which is hilarious to me. But we don't have any originals from the Nicene Creed. We have papyrus from decades later.
Wait, hold on. This is confusing because you're arguing two somewhat, contradictory things.
He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
He's saying that the Gospels were altered, right, to blame the Jews for Christ's death, and then he's saying that the Gospels themselves actually confirm his view, which doesn't make any sense.
He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He doesn't. Yeah,
I don't think he can form my view.
To be fair,
hold on, because your take, Rabbi, your take is that the Gospels confirm your view that the Romans were responsible and that Jewish involvement is minimal or non-existent, right? It's just only the Romans. Is that your take? Yes or no?
He's like,
Let him answer. Alchik, let him answer the question.
Doesn't work.
Alchik, hold on. Let him answer the question that Gu just asked.
So no, that's not what I said at all.
Okay, so what do you think?
Then what did you say? If in one way you're saying like the Holy Gospel is like correct in some sense, and the other way you're saying, oh, it's dismissive because nobody confirmed it for hundreds of years. And as Catholics, we're just like, oh, it was like translated like 300 years later. So it's like you're just wrong on so many aspects. Either it's correct or either it's false. What is it? Either Jesus, we believe that he's a prophet and everything else like that, or you just believe some rebel. Because I never heard a single rabbi in my entire life that just dismissed Jesus as a single Jewish rebel. This is a
What did Rabbi say to you, Alchik? What have Rabbi said? What have Rabbi said to you? He is curious. What have they said? What have they called him?
Jesus like some random rebel. And
well, what have they said he is? No, but Alchik, what have rabbis said he is to you? You just said all the rabbis you've ever talked to have never said that. What have they called him? What have they said he is? How have they described him?
Not God.
What else said? That's their answer, not God? That's the only thing they said?
Not God.
What else have they said? Hold on,
They all say not God. They don't believe he's the Son of God. They don't believe he's the Messiah, the Mashiach.
They don't say that. They say much worse things.
That's all they
and what kind of rabbis, hold on, what kind of rabbis have said this to you? Reform, conservative, Orthodox, Chabad? What rabbis have said that?
All the other ones are false in my opinion.
Okay.
It's only
Okay, Alchik, now let the rabbi respond.
All the other ones are false.
Let the rabbi respond.
You said the rabbis don't think he's the Son of God, they don't think he's the Messiah, they don't think he's whatever else you put on your list. What do they think he is?
They're just glad he's a Jew. So they say you guys are worshiping Jews.
Exactly. They just say he's a Jew.
He is
typical conversation.
I check all these rabbis you have spoken to. What do they say he is?
They say to us Jewish people, he doesn't matter to us. That's it.
Okay, how is that different from what I said?
Because
sure. Ooh, hold on a second. How is that different?
Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Balake. Hold up, bro. It's between Achik and Rabbi. Balake.
No, the difference is it's the way you're saying it like he's some Jewish rebel. It's a condescending nature you're saying it that I have a problem with. You know what I mean? Other rabbis I can be like, oh, I don't care about him, I don't respect him, what I mean, he's not the son. But it's the way you're saying it that's really pissing me off. Like, he's like dirt.
Well, this is how why is this such a shock for you? This is how the Jews view Christ. Are you now just learning about this?
Wow. No, rabbis might decide.
People, I never heard a rabbi talk like this ever.
You've never heard a rabbi talk like this. That's a shock.
Never.
Okay, Goop, try to not interrupt. I check. What from the fact that I said that he was a Jewish rebel makes you say I have no respect for him? Bar Kokhba was also a Jewish rebel. Menachem Begin was a Jewish rebel. There's no problem with being a Jewish rebel.
It's the big comparing Jesus Christ with those people.
You know what I mean?
But, okay, so you understand, in my view, he isn't God. He is a Jewish man who was born of a man and a woman, and
that was my point 10 minutes
like every other Jewish man in history.
Actually, that's the most fundamental difference between us.
Hold on 1 second. This idea that me not accepting him as Lord is an act of disrespect is ridiculous.
No, I don't care if you call
Like every other rabbi in the world, I don't think he's a prophet. Like every other rabbi in the world, I don't think he's Messiah. Like every other rabbi in the world, I don't think he's the son of God. I think he was a Jew. I honor him as a member of my faith. And I think he was he died for.
What?
Are you anti-Christian?
You live. Come on.
It's that
what the
simple.
hell is this? Is this stand-up?
You guys can't even be mature enough to just respect an opinion.
Because it's fucking ridiculous. Why?
Oh, mute every. What? No.
It says that Jesus
Everybody, stop. What is preposterous? That we, as our faith, don't accept him as God?
No, I just
So you're saying that's preposterous? You're saying that's preposterous?
No, it says that Jesus is
That it's
burning
our
an
faith to not accept him as God. Would you like to have this debate with people that are Hindi that also don't accept him as God, or Buddhists that don't accept him as God? I mean, like, no. I find this so disingenuous. We don't accept him as God. That's the reality. Hold on, dude, shush.
Is it anti-Semitic?
No, I think
just stay on your mic.
You are not the children of
Othello, quiet.
Is it
The fact that he was
anti-Semitic?
a rebel, the same way Bar was a rebel, doesn't couch someone as a negative. It is a comment about a historical fact about him.
Because the Jews used
Okay, whether you think it's true is not the point. It's what we think is.
called a betrayer.
Yes, but the point is that when rabbis refer to
Jack, are you a Muslim? Jack, are you a Muslim? Is Jesus your Lord?
Jesus is one of the highest.
Is he your Lord? Is he your Lord or is Allah? Hold on, quiet. Is Jesus your Lord or is Allah?
Messenger.
Who do you pray to? Who do you pray to? Do you pray to Allah?
No, I don't pray to Jesus, but he's a direct messenger.
You don't pray to Jesus. I don't pray to Jesus. You don't pray to Jesus.
Yeah, but you don't think he's the son of God.
I don't. Do you think he is, Jack? Hold on. Hold on. No. Jack and I are. Jack, do you think he's a?
Jesus, may peace be upon him.
I think that any Jewish man is a son of God. I think every Jewish man is a son of God. Every Jewish man.
We believe that all
is a son
children
of
are
God.
God's children.
Because I believe in God.
I believe that too. Hold on, if you guys knew anything about the Trinity, Jesus Christ is not the literal Son of God. Okay, he existed before his incarnation.
You guys believe he's God himself?
What are you talking about now?
Yeah, so it's a big
What are you saying? Wait, hold on, go repeat that again?
It's not the literal Son.
You don't even understand what the hell is
Hold on, wait. Oh my God,
I know.
It hurts my head. It hurts my head. Jesus Christ is not the literal Son of God, okay? That's and that is used to explain the love that the Father has for the Son. Christ was not created, okay, in his divine essence, okay? The incarnation is another thing, but Christ in his divinity was not created. He's not the literal Son of God, anyway.
What?
Well, wait a second. Hold on, wait. Well, Black America. Can I have your opinion?
He's the second.
Wait a second, please.
Person of the Trinity. Yes.
Excuse me.
Second person.
Honey, you know what? Othello, excuse me. Can I hear you? Can I have your opinion? Jewish women in regards to who is son of God.
I would be glad to give my opinion. Look, one of the mods just said something really important. She said that the Jews not believing that Jesus Christ is their God. That's a totally fair point. It's absolutely fair. And what I'm just trying to harp here is that the only problem with American Christians right now is we have a problem with us not being able to say what the gospel say. It's blood libel.
we get accused of blood libel and being anti-Semitic because we're just stating what the gospel says. Point is, King Herod was the appointed king of Judea at the time of Jesus' crucifixion. King Herod was the one who called the hit on the murder of babies before Jesus was a baby. So these are things that happened. That these people had authority over Judea. They were also at the very same time, because two things can be true at the same time. They were also occupied by Rome. And since we interjected, since the rabbi was able to in this debate interject his opinion about the climate, the political climate was as simple as this: they were occupied. They were also corrupt. The government of Judea at the time was corrupt in money changing and charging people for salvation. And Jesus had a problem with that. I believe, because if I was there at the time, I probably could have had doubt. But you had to have faith to believe that man was who he said he was.
And
he performed miracles right in front of everybody. And the Sanhedrin put him on the stand and asked him to do this and do that, and he did it. And that can still be misconstrued as witchery or some kind of crazy stuff. But the point is, you never know if you don't believe. And there are people who believe that Jesus Christ came here to die for our sins, and he did that. And we ain't got no problem with you not believing that. You're going to have to deal with that.
Do you believe Jesus is God? Is what I was asking.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the thing.
The second person of the Trinity.
Sunnis are having to do the taqiyat.
I'm talking about Christ.
Like in the West.
So you guys say the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
We have God the Father, right?
Yep.
You have God the Son, who is Christ, and we have God the Holy Spirit.
So who's the Son? Who's the Son of?
They're all the same.
Okay. Well, no, I'm asking.
Just like who did the Son of God? Who can use the Son of God without everybody jumping the mic?
He's called the Son of God, but not in the way that like humans have kids, right? He didn't get created. He didn't just start existing.
No, Muchacho, please shut up.
So the Father, we call him the begotten Son, right? So the Father begets the Son, like your mind, right, begets a thought. So he's fully God, exactly like the Father, just in a different way.
Well, why do they say the Son?
Because it's the analogy that is used to explain the Trinity. It's yes, there is a sonship there that is eternal, but it's not literal. It's not like biological.
So you're saying that there's
the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
We're all children of God. That's not the same
Correct.
concept that can be.
But if it's God, why would he refer to himself as a child of God? If it's God himself.
Right, so thank you, baby.
No, but if it's God himself, why would he refer to himself as a child of God?
He is the Son of God.
Because if you understand, he put himself as a human form. That's what you
Yeah, but he's the human form, so he's God in his flesh.
It's not literally, dude. It's not
meant to be taken literally.
See, because you guys are upset that the rabbi calls him a rebel, and you're saying don't take it literally. That's a...
What the? I'm sorry. Now that sounds crazy. What do you mean literally?
Angel, do you know what an arc is? Right? Things that are used to like explain. Right? It's
I do, but BB, I want you to answer BB's question. So that was my question. Why would God define himself as the Son? Oh my gosh, one mic. All I need is one mic. I don't need three people jumping the question. I just need Goo to respond.
Oh my God, Goo.
If you don't want to answer, I'll answer.
No, I don't. Please, both of you, all three of you, shut up. I don't need Mustacho, whatever. And Blake, I don't need your...
He's the eternal Son of God, right? In the sense that he is the revealed truth, right? That's his divine identity as the second person of the Trinity. That's why. Okay, it's got more deeper meanings. This is the problem. You guys take words a little too literally sometimes. Things have much deeper meanings.
Wait, but when the rabbi was just speaking, you guys heard the words that he was saying literally.
Conventional Christian theological knowledge here.
That's a good point.
Okay, he's not this created way, right? It's not symbolic either, right?
So just answer my question. Do you believe that Jesus is God, or do you believe that there's only one God?
There's only one God. Jesus Christ is God. He's the second person of the Trinity. You have three persons and one divine essence.
So then you believe in three gods?
I don't believe in that.
No!
Retarded fucking bitch.
Oh, God.
Whoa. That's it, bro. Fuck you. Honestly. Dealing with that disgusting shit. You have fucking Tourette's at check. Constantly calling people bitches and shit. Dealing with that on the stage.
It's disgusting. I don't know if that's a woman in his real life. I don't know if he does it to women in his real life, but it's coming across that he does.
I think, Angel, you're being purposely dense here, and you're asking a bunch of...
I'm not being purposely dense. Because when the rabbi was speaking, you guys took every word.
Hold on, why are you guys upset that we want to educate ourselves?
Now I'm going to go ahead
We want to educate people. It's trying to use a threat. That's so weird.
No, I'm trying to, but nobody will let me. I know. I can answer it in a very easier way. So back in biblical times, son of didn't mean like literal son. It means that shared the same nature as someone. So if you said he's the son of God, that means he shares this.
Now that makes sense.
I say this whole time.
I know, but
you said something completely different from what they said.
Everybody else has been saying exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because they
well, I'm just saying is that when the rabbi was speaking, they took every word literally. So now when they're speaking, I just want to let them hear the word.
What did we take?
The other guy got upset saying, like, how could you call him a rebel, this and that, da-da-da-da-da.
Thank you.
That wasn't me.
Hold on, Mustacho. Why was he a rebel?
Because he was overturning what he went against what the Jews and
Are you a Christian, sir?
Yeah, I'm
okay. So the other Christians on stage, are you upset that he called Jesus a rebel?
Yeah, Jesus was not a revolutionary.
Yes,
the Pharisees were the revolutionaries. Christ is the fulfillment of the Old Testament.
What you gotta understand, dude, is that
you're cutting me off. Christ is the supersession. The supersessionist church. The supersessionist Israel is the church. That's what Christ came to establish. It's the direct line from the old covenant worship into the new covenant, right? So that's Christ. The ones who rejected Christ are the rebels. They are the revolutionaries. Okay, that's how it works. Christ was not a rebel.
I just have one question. One final question. What the fuck does any of this have to do with Iran?
Wake that up.
But there was a rabbi in here, so...
I'm just fucking heck up that bit. But I'm just saying, like, we need to get back on topic. People are leaving. There's too much talk about. Yeah. The title of the room, can you address it?
Because you told
Religion is so subjective. Everybody has an opinion, like everybody has an asshole, So just because yeah, whatever.
Doesn't matter. So what? He's right though. But the room, could you?
Yeah. The Jews. Matt, you're just mad that I exposed your very low IQ take.
Alright, let's get over with.
To be fair, he's young, but he's a fairly intelligent young man.
This is his wheelhouse.
I mean, look, the Jews are leveraging America right now to carry out this war, to vanquish one of its enemies. That's clearly the case. I think that's been demonstrated through all the articles that just recently came out about Netanyahu's intelligence. And,
is religion the problem with Iran?
No. I think Iran...
So then why did you make that statement then about the Jews? Because the title says, news alert, religion the problem, ? Iran with 2 sirens on each side, and then Israel linked with USA. So I asked you again, is religion the problem with Iran? You said no.
When it comes to Iran, no, it's not religion. When it comes to the Jews, yes, it is about religion. It is about...
but we're talking about Iran. So you don't believe that there's a radical problem with religion inside Iran?
No, if you look at Iran's eschatology, they're sort of like in a frozen state. There's this whole talk about the Mahdi and their eschatology and them wanting to bring about the apocalypse. That's actually not true. It's a misconception. They're actually in a frozen state. The Islamic Republic believes that they can't really carry out. They can only do enough, but they can't. It has nothing to do with initiating the apocalypse. That's actually not true. I mean, I'll have to go back and read and get brushed up on it, but as far as I know, that is the case in Iran. That's why they've been so sort of hesitant and calculated when it comes to.
So you don't believe that states, the U.S. and Israel stop their operation in Iran and the IRGs back over? You don't think they're going to implement Islamic laws that are going to intensify the killing?
Well, if
of
they
innocent Iranian people?
listen, well, that's the whole thing about this, right? If they weren't going to do it before, they're certainly going to pursue that policy now. That's the issue. That's the unintended consequence of all of this. And the United States did not think this through, and neither did Israel, and that's why the Gulf states are kind of bitter about this, because they're...
Okay, so then that's the other part. Well, wait. What if the United States and Israel did think this through, and the Iranian people that are on the ground are supposed to be doing their part, and maybe they're just sitting back right now, waiting for a signal from Reza Pahlavi and from Washington?
I think there's a New York Times article that came out, and they said that Netanyahu was upset at the intelligence because they thought that carrying out the strike against the Ayatollah and the 40 leaders would foment some type of color revolution, and that didn't happen.
So what do you think about what's your take on what Donald Trump said today about some type of deal with the Iranians and and somebody says, was it nuclear? He said no, it had to do with oil and gas. So
well, I mean, if Donald Trump goes down a more diplomatic path and took this arrest, I would commend him for it. The sooner this is over, the better.
On YouTube, I would argue that you want to be streamed. Otherwise, you would have.
Does anybody else want to jump in? We have a lot of people.
Did you hear that the second Airborne Division is deployed to Iran as well? 1,000, I think, soldiers.
I think Patrick served his time in the Gulag there.
That is incorrect. If you read the article, they tore down the article. I wrote it in the chat when I came into the room. The 82nd Division commanding officer and his headquarters team, which is like less than 200 people, they have been asked to go there and ordered to the area as an advanced party. So the advanced party goes in and checks the logistics barracks logistics, just everything. They clear the area. Then they go back and say, all right, this is what we need to do. This is how we need to prep our soldiers before they even actually deploy. So that's what it is. It's just the advanced team, but it doesn't mean like they're all getting in there and people are freaking out. Okay then.
Okay, but it says in the article, it says 1,000 deployed.
Well, they're talking about the entire 82nd, and within the entire 82nd,
I just put it in the chat, by the way.
I'm sorry, English, please. This is an English room. I don't know why you fuckers can't learn that. Well, it's true. It's one of the rules.
He speaks English.
Hello?
He was speaking English.
That was English?
I said I just put it in the chat, KK.
That's better English, thank you. My Asian ears are deceiving. So even they're saying that's the numbers in the division. However, when you're talking the number of actual infantry, it's going to be less than that. For example, in the Marine Corps, they're saying, oh, they're taking a whole unit's Marine going to be there, boots on the ground. No, the actual boots on said ground would be about 800, which is an entire infantry battalion. So there has to be a support team to support the actual infantry on the front line. That's why the numbers are very, very misgiving.
Okay.
negotiation going on, and they kind of like, on the other hand, they also sending logistic troops to the Middle East. So
Man has the right to live by his own law, to live in the way that he wills to do, to work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die when how he
Girl, no, give away.
Man has the right to eat what he will, to drink what he will, to dwell where he will, to move as he will on the face of the earth. Free man has the right to think what he will, to speak what he will, to write what he will, to grow, paint, carve, etch, mold, build as he will, to dress as he For a man has the right to love as he will. If you will of love as he will. Man has the right to kill those who would thwart these rights. The slave shall serve on his 50 Love is the law. Man has the right to live by his own law, live in the way that he wills to do, to work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die and how he will. 58, love is the law. Love under will. Man has the right to live by his own law. To live in the way that he wills to do. To work as he will. To play as he will. To rest as he will.
Joy. Oh, experience. Joy. The goal is joy. The experience is joy. The goal is joy.
To dwell where he will. To move as he will on the face of the earth.
Fucking fake. He's a fake. He's a fake Democrat.
To think what he will. To speak what he will.
How do I miss? Sorry about that. Stuck is real. My shipment is in.
Five man has the right to kill those who would flood these rights. The slaves shall serve. L58, love is the law. Love under will. Man has the right to live by his own law. To live in the way that he wills to. To work as he will. To play as he will. To rest as he will. To die when and how he will. To man has the right to eat what he will. To drink what he will. To dwell where he will. To move as he will. the slaves shall serve. L58, love is the law. Love under will. Man has the right to live by his own law. To live in the way that he wills to do. To work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die when and how he will. Save yourself. To man has the right to eat what he will, to drink what he will, to dwell where he will, to move as he will on the face of the earth. Every man has the right to think what he will, to speak what he will, to write what he will, to draw, paint, carve, and smoke, build as he will, to dress as he will, for man has the right to love as he will. Take your fill and will of love as he Can you stay along the lines of your example, since I'm not smarter than a fifth grader? So in regards to solid, liquid, and gas.
I'm not following what you mean.
Well, you said that you're gonna explain it in regards to solid, liquid, and gas, right? You identify the Holy Spirit, right? Which you water as the examples, right? So to answer your question, can you stay along the lines of that? Because I wanna get the visual of the spot.
So
He doesn't get it. Explain his
This is how he explains it to his daughter. I'm not smarter than a fifth grader. I want to hear his continuance on this regarding his example.
He's let
him do it himself.
Ironically, the reason why the Jews were...
Why can't he do it by himself?
Well, I'm just putting it by 2 cents.
Yeah. So you want me to... I don't understand how me saying Jesus was a rebel to the Jewish faith, but not to his plan.
Specifically you said, but God doesn't see him like that. That response came...
I didn't say that God didn't see him that way. I said, but he wasn't a rebel. Meaning, he was acting...
I was saying the same thing about you just said.
Meaning he was acting in accordance to the plan was already set out.
Right, so that makes the Jews the rebels. That makes
by
them
themselves.
You guys, I understand that, but can you
to the Jewish faith.
Listen, I understand that, but to the example that you just gave.
No, I'm sorry, I feel like you're just trying to use word salad.
Genuinely, I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not. I swear. God.
Ironically.
You said, you gave the example of here. This is how I explained it to my daughter, right?
I explained
I'm not smarter than a fifth
the
grader.
Trinity.
She wants you to explain why.
Exactly. I want you to use the explanation of the Trinity to answer your question, to answer my question.
All right. Well, explain to her.
Okay, so that's
okay, we need to calm. We need to calm down. Calm down.
So.
Hard not to use sophisticated language when talking about religion. I mean, like, how else do you want to?
Yeah, it is hard not to use.
I'm going
certain language.
It
is hard when you didn't like me cutting you off and you keep going. So if you would please quit cutting me off and let me.
I think it's because you're horrible at articulating yourself. And this is no offense to you, Mustachio. But when you are inarticulate, when you're inarticulate in this matter, when you're inarticulate in this matter,
and you don't know how to knock me off,
I'll tell you why
me off and you talking over me.
I'll tell you why this is problematic.
At that point, because
I'm going to tell you why this is problematic.
No, I'm just going to go ahead and
fail to articulate yourself. When you fail to articulate yourself with the way she's probing you, you make your ignorance normative for the rest of us in here. And then the idiots in this room, the low IQ people in this room, are then going to take that and then repeat what you say in other rooms.
Okay,
and
first off,
see this happen.
I'm not ignorant, and the way that you're talking to me as a brother in Christ is not the way you should be.
In this other room, this other Christian guy had told me.
Yeah.
You hear that shit all the time.
You're literally being the example.
Goo is way better. Be nice. You are, dude. Be nice. Goo is way better. Goo is way better at this than you.
What, Jack? You mean that being rude?
No. Wow, bro. Just don't have an ego about it.
Hold on, guys. Attention. News alert. I see at the top of the screen the Jumbotron. This is where I really want to shift the room to. I want to change the topic. Israel says it will seize parts of southern Lebanon as defensive buffer. What do you guys think about that?
That's bullshit.
They seized the Litani River, is that what it is?
I think Lebanon should seize parts of northern Israel as a buffer.
Yeah, I know. We should seize parts of your mother so we can have extra babies.
Whoa! There you go.
Whoa! Okay, so
I mean, why not? Why not seize parts of Israel?
I'm reading the Litani River. Okay, so this was probably
just take over another country. It's all good.
We're not taking over a country. We're making.
Whatever.
Guy? Oh, you know what? Goo's here. I actually really like Goo. I think he's intelligent. I want to ask Goo the same thing. Please, nobody give him the answer. Okay? It's only going to take me a minute. Goo, me and you.
The right answer is
Shut the fuck up. Shut up, perfumer. Shut up. Goo, me and you, we are in Niagara Falls, Canada. And you have a house here. It's a big house. You got a lot of family. I got a lot of family. And we're having a party at your house. 70 to 80 people, like, of our family members at the house. Me and you, we start drinking fucking tequila. We get drunk. We look outside of your minivan. And you're like, let's go for a drive. Let's cross the border and rob a fucking bank. I'm like, I got some guns. You're like, I got some too. We get in your minivan. We cross the border. We rob a bank. We start shooting people in the bank because we get a little fucking excited. We kill a couple of people. We grab some money. We start driving back and we're shooting back at the cops. We cross back the border. The cops are chasing us. We decide to drive back to your house while all our family's partying. We're now in this huge gunfight. We drive right through the garage. We get in the garage. We run into the fucking house and we're shooting at the police. And the police are shooting back at us. And our family gets murdered. Whose fault is it? No, watch. Wait till you hear the answer.
I know where this is going. It's obviously the guys who started the gunfight.
Do you know what the perfumer said? It's the police's fault.
Okay, yeah, that's preposterous.
Bibi's missing a lot of context for what he's trying to complete.
I know.
So right there in a nutshell, to simplify it, Gaza. To simplify
BB
That's
loves
October
to go
7th, right there.
Wow. You can't say that.
If you call jerking off on your mom's face,
Here's another situation, right? So here's the other situation. So some retarded people in Canada go, they rob a bank, they got the money, they come back to Canada, they come back to Canada, same thing, and they're holding like all these babies around them. So according to BB, it's okay for the
are they shooting at the police though?
Shoot right through the fucking baby's head to get at the criminals. That's an awesome idea.
Calm down. Why are you yelling?
Well, shoot right through the fucking baby's head to get at those evil criminals. Do it. And don't be killing is evil. Killing is okay.
Never again is now while they're doing it.
Yeah. BB, BB's trying to say that it's okay to kill people.
Let Goo finish, bro.
It seems to me in that analogy, though, BB, the police are not really aware of the people who are in the house, right? I think that's...
They don't need to be aware of who's in the house. You're shooting at the
police.
police.
That's the difference, though, is that the Israelis are leveling entire areas and killing people.
Well... Are they, though? There's 2 million... Okay, you're a smart guy, bro. Hold on, you're a smart guy. Hold on. Perfumer, I'm gonna be shooting you in the face. Okay, so, smart guy. There's 2 million people inside Gaza. And 60,000 or 72,000 people were killed. Out of 2 million. You're telling me they leveled the whole place and only 72,000 people died out of 2 million? You're a smart guy, bro. Don't act stupid right now.
Well, the response happened.
Don't act stupid right now. You're a smart guy. Remember, 2 million people, 72,000 dead. That's precision, bro.
Bro, 72.
That was not precision striking at all. What are you talking about?
What? If you leveled the place, you're telling me only there would be more than 72,000 dead?
BB, if you see footage of Gaza...
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Dude, it's very simple. I mean, everyone knows what did you just kick David? Just ban him forever.
Jake, I thought we were friends. Jake, you've seen footage of the Israelis bombing.
Buddy pal, ain't your buddy, ain't your pal.
Tips over and just falls on it. I mean, that's, to me, that's not ethical. That's not just to take out one person who might be there. Like, what's the intelligence? Like, I would think them having fun. Did they have foreknowledge of October 7th? How is it that they had foreknowledge?
Why are you bringing up the October 7th? Why are you doing?
I'm talking about intelligence awareness.
Well, why are you bringing it up?
Because it's
Come on, David. It's fucking simple why the guy brought it up. He's saying, listen, if they have intelligence for that, they should have had intelligence on October 7th. But the reality is it's different. No, but the difference is, I don't know if you watched Fauda, it's probably the closest thing to what's going on there. They have intel on the ground, right, that they had to inject inside of Gaza. When people were running across the border, you don't think a couple of agents went in to try and locate people? But it boggles my mind that you guys think. So Iran, supposedly, right, the number's 40 to 80. I've even heard today 105,000 that were killed in 2 days.
With 90 million people in the country.
Yeah, okay, in 2 days though. But in 2 years, 2 whole years, 72,000 people got killed in a population of 2 million people with the area the size of New Jersey, right? What's the size of Iran? Twice the size of Texas. So, a highly densely populated area, 2 million people, crammed, 72,000 dead. But Israel's carpet bombing the place. They had some pretty good fucking baseball hats on to not get killed.
More, basically.
They could have killed 1 million people, and they didn't.
We should be grateful for that.
100,000, you should be grateful for that.
But in Iran, by the way,
with all due respect, 70,000 is a lot.
Jake, but with all due respect,
Iranian protesters, I don't know. Iranians, you can see on Telegram all the body bags lining up. It's just public information, that's really it.
You have a question for
But when the president just says it, and it's like, well, what is this flag? Got thousands of people dying on it. What's happening in Iraq? Well, I actually don't like war. I think war is a terrible thing. We gotta come to a conclusion, you know. But I think this Islamic regime for 47 years has been doing something terrible to American soldiers. Everybody's getting blown up. In Iraq, in Afghanistan, everybody, you know.
Do you think in Iran? Jack, what is your question? Wait, check your question, man. Jack, do you think in Iran those protests were natural, or do you think there was foreign intelligence there stoking flames and organizing?
Oh, bro, those protests are not even fucking natural. You know what I mean? Like, they knew they were gonna die. I think some were natural, some were not natural, like from their market and stuff. Some are natural, some are not natural, but it's a bit of both, I would say.
Israel
came
out basically.
I think. Wait, came out. Wait. He asked me a question. I really think the U.S. is probably going to talk about it because you don't send Marine Expeditionary Forces to the region without them doing something. You know, they're not going to go there to follow their fingernails. You know, when those Marines land there, I think they're supposed to land there in like 3 days on Saturday or something else like that. They're gonna fuck up Cog Island. That's what they keep talking about. Make a deal. If they don't make a deal by Friday, Marines are gonna take that island, and that's where 90% of Iran's gas and oil comes from.
Jack, your answer's in the chat. Where? Uh-oh. Wait, where? I can post the article. The Iranian chat.
Yeah, Jack. There was actually it was in Bloomberg, I believe, yesterday. So it was acknowledged by several sources, both in America and across Israeli intelligence, but basically the Mossad came up with the idea of like spurring a civilian revolt, and of course they have a lot of assets there, and thinking that it would help overthrow the IRGC. Now they were in very big disagreement with the acronym is AMAN, AMAN, and that is the military intelligence unit for Israel, because they thought the idea was stupid, but Netanyahu, I guess, liked the Mossad's idea, so they went ahead and tried it, and I guess they all in America and in Israel have acknowledged it was basically a failed plot. It didn't go anything like they expected.
Jack, do you expect Time Magazine or no? Or do you accept it? Yeah, it depends who they're sourcing, but yeah, for the most part. The Iranian health ministry. Two officials from, so they got the sources, the two Iranian health minister quoted the number of 30,000. I see it, yeah, I see what you're saying. Two senior officials of the country's Ministry of Health told the Time it was as many as 30,000 people have been killed in those 2 days. Now, on the idea of foreign intervention and stuff, I was just reading something Goop in the chat that basically the Israelis, or Netanyahu, basically used the idea that the Iranians would overthrow the regime as a way to convince them. You guys think that's true? I mean, I wouldn't put it past, the CIA and also, Israelis sending in operatives to stoke the flames to get a big fucking protest, and knowing that people are going to get killed, which will then legitimize them intervening. And why didn't these guys? Man, I just feel like the only reason we wanted to do it. The only reason we didn't do it earlier is because we were down in fucking dealing with Venezuela. And once they got the aircraft carriers over there, that's when they engaged. Yeah, but the Iranian people themselves, why plan for this shit? I mean, they've been doing it for 47 years, fighting the IRG stuff, but they just go out and mow and shit.
Yeah, like the protests ain't gonna work. You gotta
What do
think
you
about
mean
the
they
shit.
that's not true. What are you talking about? Like they knew that was Iran's like major plan to try to attack the
We already conceded that. What are you arguing? Who are you arguing with? No, wait, are you created Mountain? Let's clarify.
No, I'm just gonna fucking work. What are you talking
about? Wow. David's definitely drunk. He's always drunk.
No, I'm not drunk. I'm tired as fuck.
Exhaustion can make you talk and feel like you're drunk. So.
Frankly, I'm actually more worried about Lebanon. Because there are a lot of Lebanese friends and they just mobilized.
Lebanon's fine though.
Wait.
I want to hear what he has to say, David.
I just want to say, I'm more worried about Lebanon because they just mobilized like 400,000 reservists. You don't do that unless you're going to do a ground invasion. And that's more deadly than any air campaign, you know.
Are you talking about Israel? Israel?
Yeah, like I have some friends. No, I have some friends in Israel that was like,
I'm more worried about
reservists. Wait. Don't cut people off. I was talking to some friends in Israel today, it's like, well, I just got mobilized, like I'll talk to you maybe in a month or something, whatever, you know what I mean. But the Lebanon one I'm more afraid of. Iran is going to be settled because it's been 47 years of pure terror. It's going to go away. They're going to deal with Iran. The people are going to take over their country to settle. But poor Lebanon, man, they have to deal with a horror regime, terrorist regime there, I don't understand why they're able with it. But ground forces are much, much more deadly than any air campaign because they go door to door. And if you're there, you're fucked. So I'm more worried about that.
That's right.
Yeah, I pray for the Lebanese people.
Thank you for your contribution, David.
Say, I don't know, of course, I know that after the Haitian got their independence, they took control of the whole island, so our part is not invaded from the French. Of course, I know all of it. And of course, I understand that if it wouldn't be because of Haiti, we would be invaded by the Europeans again. So it's funny that you come here and assume that I don't know my history, because it's funny because you always come from a perception that you know the history of everybody, but you assume right away that I do not know my history, man. And that's what it does. And what we were going again, and
lights was on. We don't know if he had his horns going. That's one of my nightmares. I'm on my motorcycle. I got my helmet on. There's engine. My nightmare is not hearing a fire truck coming into an intersection or a cop car coming into an intersection on a chase, going to the scene of a crime, and I can't hear him. Damn sure can't see him until it's too late. Like all riders talk about that, and it's happened to a rider that I know. He came out the block, he was zooming, and he got hit by a fire truck and died. Was on to the scene.
Say what? He was on it.
Control chillism.
You hot mic in there, Pepe. You sound like you're repping one offer.
Already wrong.
I told you to go to sleep.
You want to bet? Pepe's watching.
Okay, come on. I like John. Let's go.
Yeah. It'll be like you got a hot mic, baby.
There'll be this shouting match between two black guys in chillism, and then David will interject and go, "Oh, that's not true," and they'll just go, "Hey, move this motherfucker down!" Fucking crashing out.
They crash out on it, yeah, bro. That shit is amazing.
Yo, man, who the
Hey, who moved me in the audience?
I will say, like the tab, the person, David, you have the tab.
but the Chilism people, like, whoa, they were very aggressive, right? And I was like, I would tell them to calm down, and they would just yell at me to the point where, like, get this. I won't say. They say certain things. I don't want to say.
Pea cracker.
No, they never said that. But other words that are not appropriate. I would just say.
David, just keep the same energy fucking back. If they can call you names, you can call them names. Still. It's true. Somebody calls me retarded, I call them retarded. Just give them back. They call you a cracker, you call them a nigger, they call you a fag, you call them a fag, you know? I don't understand the big
Whoa, you can't say the F word. Wow.
Yeah, you can. It's 2026. It's not the fucking...
David, we could say retard too.
Yeah, but with all due respect, you definitely cannot be tucked in America sometimes.
Why can't you call somebody a faggot if someone's a faggot? I could call someone a cunt in Australia and it's a compliment. What are you talking about? Wait. It's true. It's true, people. It's true. But why can't you call someone a fag if they are a fag? What's the problem? You're a fag too, they won. The difference is I don't give a shit. I don't understand why you're like, David, were you raised in like some liberal left-wing family? What the hell is this?
But you, who have defied the law, you who have conquered by subtlety, your force,
Okay, go to ChicagoMiracle.com, everybody. Thanks.
a God who giveth all.
Ooh.